All right, let's jump straight into today's explainer and talk about something absolutely crucial for anyone in architecture or construction: securing your files while actually boosting your workflow efficiency. If you work in this space, you know project PDFs are basically your lifeblood. But what happens if those files get altered after you hit send? Today, we are looking at a brilliant Bluebeam feature that literally bakes your hard work right into the document, completely bulletproofing your deliverables.
Here is our roadmap for today. We'll quickly navigate the BIM landscape, look at the actual markup security risk, explore flattening as the solution, and then tackle batch processing for efficiency, preserving your properties and layers, and finally locking down your files for good.
Section 1. Navigating the BIM landscape.
Think for a second about how many different software tools your project data bounces through on any given day. From Navisworks to Revit, Procore to AutoCAD, it is a massive digital highway. And with so many different hands touching a single file across all these platforms, file integrity isn't just a luxury anymore, it's an absolute necessity. Because if your data isn't secure as it travels, well, the whole project is basically at risk.
For our workflow today, we're zooming in on Bluebeam. It's the industry standard for marking up plans and getting your team on the same page. But, you know, that awesome collaborative power? It comes with a pretty major catch.
Which brings us to Section 2, the markup security risk.
Picture this. You've just spent hours reviewing a complex floor plan. You add notes like "demo this wall" or "wall rating change." By default, those notes are live, editable data. They're just separate, clickable elements floating on top of the drawing. That means whoever receives the file can accidentally drag your note halfway across the screen, or worse, maliciously delete an instruction entirely. I mean, just imagine the costly disaster on a job site if a crucial note to "demo this wall" mysteriously vanishes into thin air.
So the way to think about an unflattened document is like a stack of loose sticky notes stuck on a blueprint. Anyone can peel one off or shuffle them around. A flattened document, on the other hand, takes all those loose pieces and permanently fuses them into a single, locked image.
Let's look at how to do that in Section 3, flattening as the solution.
Flattening is basically a feature in Bluebeam that takes your markups and permanently embeds them right into the underlying document. Once you do this, a user can no longer click your text box and rewrite it. They can't move your highlight to a different room. It completely secures your intellectual property and guarantees that your instructions arrive exactly how you intended them to.
Now let's speed things up. Section 4, batch processing for efficiency. Sure, you could right-click and flatten every single item one by one, but who has the time for that? If we're talking about true workflow efficiency, you want to use batch processing. Just head up to the document menu, scroll down to Flatten, and boom, you get a dialog box that gives you total control. You can pick specific markup types or, honestly, just check all to lock down the entire sheet at once. Hit Flatten, and in literally 4 clicks, you've completely secured a document that might contain hundreds of individual notes. It's a massive time saver.
But wait, Section 5, preserving properties and layers.
You might be wondering, actually, if we bake everything down into a flat image, don't we lose all that rich data that makes BIM so essential? Thankfully, no. There's a little box in the Flatten menu that says Show Properties in Pop-up. If you check that, you retain all the crucial metadata. Things like the author, specific layers, attached file links, they're all saved. So when someone clicks on that flattened, unmovable markup, a little pop-up reveals all the essential data behind it. You get 100% security without sacrificing any of the communication.
And finally, Section 6. Locking down your files.
Okay, listen up, because all of this efficiency means absolutely nothing if you miss one massive vulnerability. As our source, Armin, warns, Bluebeam actually defaults to assuming you might want to reverse this process later. If you just hit Flatten and OK, anyone receiving your file can simply hit Control, Shift, and U on their keyboard, unflatten the file, and completely dismantle your document. It is a very dangerous false sense of security.
To truly lock things down, you have to look for the checkbox that says Allow Markup Recovery and uncheck it. You must uncheck it before you save. Once you do that, the flattening operation is permanent. Nobody can hit unflatten. Your text, your images, your instructions, they are irrevocably locked into the drawing for good.
So, by combining batch flattening, preserving those pop-up metadata boxes, and making absolutely sure you disable markup recovery, you maximize both your file security and your daily workflow efficiency. Take a hard look at your outbox today. Are your project's most critical instructions currently bouncing around the BIM ecosystem as loose, deletable notes? Seriously, don't let a single unchecked box compromise an entire project. Lock it down.